Late night video, but you can tell by the title, there's some things I want to talk about. What is up, fans? Recording this video at midnight, right? Put the baby to sleep, hung out with the wife, was about to get ready to work out, and then came across a few things. And I'm like, you know what? I want to talk about this. And I thought to myself, don't gotta wait. You don't gotta record it and release it in the morning, especially because tomorrow is the first day of mandatory mini camp. So there's going to be a video coming out around 4 or 5. You got something to say. You got some news or information you want to put out there. Just record it and let it rip. And people will watch it when they watch it, you know? So that's what I'm doing. If you like that concept, if you like that thought process that I have, where instead of scheduling videos, just let them rip when I'm done editing them, comment below. Let me know. Also, real quick, to the members and the patrons. I'm going to talk to the members real quick. Comment below, members. What would you like special for your portion to give you a huge thanks, right? To be like, thanks for being a member here. You get this once a week or once every month or whatever. Something special. You want videos, you want live streams, all that stuff. Let me know. Patrons, same thing. Say, hey, I'm a patron. This is what I think you could do for the Patreon to make it more enticing. For the membership, hey, this is what you could do to make it more enticing and to say thank you. I want your guys' opinions because you guys give so much. I want to give back. Also, I'm thinking about doing special live streams for the members and the Patreons. I could do it for both. So that's another thing that it's because you guys help out more than anyone else does. So I want to give more to you. You know what I'm saying? So comment below, let me know. So let's get into the video. Like I said, I came across these two things and I really wanted to talk about it. One being Cedric Wilson Jr. and the other being more Dalvin Cook information. And especially with Dalvin Cook, you know, June 1st came and went, and a lot of people are getting very antsy in the pantsy, and they want a resolution now. So I want to talk about that. But first, I do want to talk about Cedric Wilson Jr. First and foremost, I want to let you know this. The Cowboys released wide receiver Antonio Callaway following an arrest. Wide receiver Antonio Callaway was released by the Dallas Cowboys on Monday after being arrested last weekend. Came out yesterday in Miami for driving with a suspended license. That being said, that leaves an opening for the Dallas Cowboys at wide receiver. And why do I say that? Because there was information that the Cowboys' ex-wide receiver Cedric Wilson offered in a trade by Miami. The Dolphins have themselves some of the best wide receivers in the game in Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and they've continued to have a desire to move off of Cedric Wilson, the Cowboys ex, who is set to make $7 million this season. A source tells Cowboys Sports Illustrated that the Dolphins have made exploratory phone calls in the effort to get rid of themselves of Wilson's contract. Wilson left Dallas and signed a 3-year, $22 million deal with the Dolphins last season, but soon after Miami traded for Chiefs Hill, and Wilson quickly found himself buried on the depth chart as far as quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's targets. Wilson, for his part, is saying he wants to remain in Miami. I told you guys this, I think Friday or Wednesday, when he said, I work out every offseason to perform when the game's here. I want to be here. I'm here right now. That's what it's granted. So I'm going to give my best. He also said, you know, to his agent, stop bothering me unless something happens. So is there a possibility, or is there a way of moving him back to Dallas? Now, his contract kind of sucks, but it does help for the Dolphins to trade him versus cut him. And I think that's what they're doing. If you guys remember what I said after June 1st, I said Cedric Wilson, we all expected him to be moved, and now we're like, is it going to happen sooner than later? But again, also, I told you guys, June 1st isn't like free agency where it's going to be crazy. But now all of a sudden moves can be made. And especially after the next 3 days where these teams have a month and a half off, that's when the moves really can be made. Because now you see your rookies, you see your vets, and then you get your vets and your team all together with mandatory. You really look at them for the next 3 days and go, okay, we need to address these areas. The right tackle isn't so good, so we need to do this. Or this isn't so good. And then that next month and a half, people start moving pieces. Could Cedric Wilson be moved possibly. If anything, you're not going to get a great asset for it, but I think moving him is more about clearing the cap space. We save $7 million if we move him. Let me real quick see where we're at caps draft pick wise when it comes to next year's draft, because there's I at this point I'm like, yeah, I'll take whatever. So in 2024 we have a first, a second, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh. So we don't have a third or a fourth. We don't have a fourth because we traded that for Bradley Chubb, and we don't have a third because we lost it in the tampering. But we do have a first, thank God. So I take a fourth rounder. Screw it. I take a fifth. You could take your 2 fifths and trade back up into the fourth. I take anything at this point for Cedric Wilson. So I'm wondering, they've been calling people, teams that need wide receivers, probably like Green Bay, like I said, Dallas, all these teams that need wide receivers. What will it take for you to take Cedric Wilson off our hands? And they're probably like, the fact that you want us to take him so bad, we'll give you like a 7th. And the Dolphins like, you can't give us better than that. So I just want to I came across that and I was like, oh, that seems very interesting that they're actively shopping and calling and trying to make a move there. The other thing I want to talk about is Dalvin Cook, right? A lot of you guys hit me up in messages, on Twitter, comment below. We're all very antsy. We want a resolution there. I'm pretty sure the Viking fans want a resolution there. The way that Dalvin Cook probably wouldn't mind going back to Minnesota, but he knows he's not their star running back anymore. He knows he's not their guy anymore. So he would probably prefer to be moved on. I will say this. If you hear any news, any information about, there's an agreement on this or so-and-so, Dalvin Cook, it has been reported out the butt, has not been granted permission to talk to other teams about getting a trade. When that happens, then all of a sudden compensation can be announced and revealed. Hasn't happened, so, and especially if you hear it from someone on Twitter who has 300 followers, just move on from it. But there is the rumors out there, like Randall Salguero said, that there's 2 teams that are interested in him. One is Miami, one is Buffalo. It has come out that it's not Buffalo, but it has come out that apparently it's the Jets, because they don't know if Hall is going to come back and be 100% week 1. So there's interest from that aspect of it. But you also have to realize this. Does Dalvin Cook want to play in the New York Jets, or does he want to play in Miami? Say the Miami Dolphins, and again, a preference, and I'm going to get to more. So just let me get to my spiel, and I'll get to more. Say that you got these 2 teams, and you're Dalvin Cook, right? And the New York Jets hit you up and say, hey, Dalvin, we want you to come play for the Jets, but for a fact, I'm just going to throw this in on the side. Once Breece Hall gets healthy, Dalvin Cook's going to be kicked to the wayside. But anyway, we want you to come play for us, yada, yada. Don't look at the other guys that we have depth at running back, even the guy we traded for from the Jaguars last year. Again, we want you to come play for us. We'll give you 2 years, $11 million, right? And the Miami Dolphins hit him up and say, hey, Dalvin, you want to come home? You want to come play for us? We'll use you. We need you in short yardage situations. We need you at goal line. We need your catching ability. You'll fit perfect in the system. You want to come play for Miami? We'll give you 2 years, $9 million, right? You look at that, and if you're Dalvin Cook, you're like, well, they're going to give me $2 million more. Yeah, but New York State tax, you're actually going to get more to go play for Miami. And that is where, are you worried? Right? As a Dolphin fan, are you worried? If you're Dalvin Cook, do you want to go play up in New Jersey? Do you want to play in that weather? Or do you want to go home, play in Miami, get paid more, and be happy? So, again, these are rumors. We all know that the Dolphins are interested. And how do we know the Dolphins are interested? Albert Breer came out with this article today, because, again, I'm recording this Monday at midnight. The Dolphins' early dalliance with Dalvin Cook, and maybe a renewed one, is a window into the next phase of his career. Minnesota and Miami came very close to a trade that would have made Cook a Dolphin back in March. And what's interesting is the deal that fell apart then is how the team trading for him. Wait a second. And what's interesting about the deal that fell apart then is how the team trade. Just so you guys don't think I'm like Doug's having a stroke. You're probably like, what's going on with Doug? Look at this. I'm just going to highlight it. And what's interesting about the deal that fell apart then is how the team trading for him dovetails with how the team trading him away sees him. I might be saying it wrong. I might be sleep deprived from my child. But that sentence was real weird. Real weird. The idea for Miami was to add another big play threat to an arsenal that already has two of the game's most explosive receivers in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle in the holster. And after the one came undone, and as Minnesota contemplating a price, it became comfortable bringing Cook back. Less than $11 million is due. The Vikings discussed using him more sparsely as an explosive complementary to Alexander Mattison. And that's where it kind of fell apart, right? The Dolphins tried to get him in March, and then they kind of just say, who they drafted. And then would Miami still be interested? Maybe that desire for a big playback was at least somewhat degree addressed with Devon Achane. But again, we also found out that even after drafting Devon Achane, the Dolphins tried to trade for DeAndre Swift. So they're still in that process of trying to add another explosive back because, again, like I said, they run that 21 formation, the two running backs, one tight end, two wide receivers, 34% of the time. But again, they tried to trade for him in March. And then when they couldn't trade for him in March, then all of a sudden they were like, all right, we're not going to get a deal done. You're asking for way too much. We're going to have to restructure his contract. You're going to get the cap savings. We're going to deal with all the ramifications. I bet you they were like, we'll give you a sixth. We'll give you a sixth, and they probably offered one of our running backs, and they were probably like, well, we didn't have any at the time. Or no, we had, I think we had Ahmed and Gaskin at the time. And they probably offered that, or they probably offered Cedric Wilson Jr. and a sixth, and they were probably like, we want a fourth, or that. And the Dolphins were like, we don't have a fourth. And it probably fell apart, right? So the Dolphins tried to, and then they couldn't, so then they said, screw it, and they signed back the 4. But again, they're sitting there watching. Because again, you're not done. You're never done when it comes to making the team better. You're never done. Case in point, again, they tried to trade for DeAndre Swift. If they were content with their 4 running backs, say they did it before Devon Achane, right, or Devin Achane. Before they say they did it before they acquired with the Detroit Lions after round 1, and even after round 2 when they took Cam Smith, maybe Mike McDaniel was like, oh, we need the blah blah blah. I want to add another dynamic running back, yada yada, blah blah blah. Hey, what is it going to take to get DeAndre Swift? But I will say this. The deal didn't go through with the Eagles, and the Dolphins didn't back out after being pushed out by the Eagles Saturday morning. So the Dolphins were interested into, like, I feel like, pop the picture up. I feel like Charlie from It's Always Sunny with all the string. All I'm trying to tell you is, and I've been telling you this from jump, and this is now, I'm getting to my point after, all the here and there, that. I've been saying this from jump, and I'm going to say it again. If Dalvin Cook wants to play in Miami, and he's willing to play for whatever the Dolphins will offer him, whether it's cap wise, like $4.5 million, year 1, and then year 2, whatever, with an out. If he's willing to do that, he'll be a Dolphin. That's all I keep hearing from people who have sources, from people who write articles, from beat writers, from if he is willing to play ball with Miami Dolphins, and the Dolphins will make their offer if he becomes a free agent, and or say the Dolphins trade Cedric Wilson, and all of a sudden they get that pick, then we can use that. But if there's a willing to play ball and he really wants to come to Miami, he'll be a Dolphin. But if he wants more money, if he doesn't want to do certain things, or if the Dolphins are like, that's too much for us, or if the Dolphins are content, which again, they tried to trade for DeAndre Swift, then he won't be. I just want to reiterate, I never said once that he will be a Dolphin. It all depends on the cohesiveness between if he agrees with what the Dolphins are offering. Because from what I'm hearing, they're going to throw an offer at him. If he likes it, he's a Dolphin. If he doesn't like it, there's no negotiating. The Dolphins don't need to negotiate. The Dolphins don't need to compete. This is what we're offering you. If he's like, I kind of want more, the Dolphins will be like, go get it somewhere else. We got 5 running backs. We're good. If you want to come on, we'll make room. But if not, we're good. So I know we want Dalvin Cook. I want Dalvin Cook. And there's people who are saying, he's not even that good. I'm 1,100 yards, 4 seasons in a row. Look at the production last year with one shoulder. If you don't think him being added to the team would instantly make the running back room better and instantly make him the best running back on the team, then you have low standards for running backs, because Dalvin Cook is good, top notch. And I feel like Miami's a perfect fit. So does a lot of people. But again, there has to be that agreement. And that's what I wanted to do. I had all this in my head. I saw all these articles. And I was like, I want to talk about this. So I made a midnight video. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, comment below. Let me know what you think about the possibility of sending Cedric Wilson Jr. back to the Cowboys, and the fact that the Dolphins are actively making phone calls. Obviously, that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. What I told you about Dalvin Cook, are you worried about him going to the Jets? Again, I have no worry at all about him going to the Jets. And to the patrons and members, I want you guys to feel like you're getting your money's worth, right? I never ask for you guys to join the membership or the Patreon. I never ask you guys for any of that, because that's above and beyond. All I ever ask is watch, like, and especially comment. But to you guys who are doing that, I want you guys to be like, wow, Doug, being a member and being a patron is so cool, and I didn't expect so much. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So comment, let me know. Either go on Patreon and comment, message me and say, hey, I have ideas. Or if you're a member, comment below. Say, hey, I'm a member. Or hit me up in DMs and stuff like that. But other than that, I will see you tomorrow. Again, it's midnight. I will see you guys tomorrow. Mandatory minicamps day 1. Also, if you like these straight, like, hey, Doug, stop scheduling them. Just release them when you got the ideas. Let me know. But other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. Fins up.